Oh my God, Jimmy!
What?
What's happened to the Mini? Well, as you can see, the Mini's in a totally different state than when we last saw it. We had a lot of trouble with the wheel arches. You might remember we actually prepared the wheel arches and got the back two on. But when it come to lining the front two up, they was hitting the wheels. And after much investigation online, what we actually found out was that the Mini arches that Jimmy had bought were, what were they called? Sports pack. They were what they call sports pack arches, and they really wasn't suitable for these 7x13" wheels. So as a result of that, he had to go out and buy some new wheel arches, and that meant the holes in the wings was at a different place. And not only that, he had a few bits of paint that flaked off or chipped off due to being left on the drive uncovered. And as a result of that, he's decided to actually repair a few more of the panels again. So having a look around the Mini, it looks like it's being started on again. You're not touching this door, Jimmy, are you? Right, okay, well, okay. Well, this back arch, obviously, with a load of holes in it, so these have all got to be filled in. You started doing that now. And how we're going to do that, we're going to take this hammer here. What you got? Show us the hammer you got, Jimmy. That's got one of these picks on it, and it's basically just putting a just knocking these slightly below the surface so that the thin skimmer filler will take over them. And obviously then we'll start again with the new wheel arches. So yeah, going around to the back of the car, as you can see, he's going to spray this back panel in again. The simple reason being is that when he actually put the glass in, the tool, which is quite an awkward tool to operate, it slips and actually straight down to the red underside. So he's going to respray that himself as well. So he's learned obviously how to do this himself now. He's working in a body shop, so it's not a problem now. And it's exactly the same with the wheel arch this side as well. So this quarter panel is going to be actually resprayed again with the new wheel arches, as with the same front one here. So he's just taking this opportunity to also correct a couple of little things that were left in the wheel arches as well. So yeah, quite a few changes. So yeah, so Jim is basically going to tap these in slightly, and see, we're restricted with what we've got. Someone whoever had this before has actually physically cut these down, these arches. That's where the arch would have actually come down originally, as you probably know. So with the original arches that we had on it, which with hindsight we should have actually kept, because they would have gone straight back on with no problem at all. But as I say, we've had to buy another set of arches now, and as a result of that, we're going to have to refit these. So Jim is going to be redoing this anyway. As you see, the paintwork's actually flattened off very nicely, as you can probably see there. So that will take another spray paint very nicely indeed. So, but Jim is going to be doing the arches now. He's going to just tap all these back and get that ready. He's taking the wheel off so he can get access to the rear of the arch. So I'm going to leave Jimmy to that. Well, what I'm going to do, there's a few bits in the engine compartment. This will all be cleaned out eventually, but I've got to change that starter solenoid, which is down there. We've got a new one of those. The temperature sender, which is there. I've got to fit a new wiper motor for the, not a wiper motor, a washer bottle motor, which I've actually brought there. And there's a few other odds and sods that have got to be sorted out. The carburetor's got to be sorted out. Fuse box has got to be checked, and all this has got to be cleaned out, this area. There's a repair to be made there to the brake master cylinder as well, so that's got to be done. And a good general clean up of this area has got to take place. This is even before we start to check the ignition timing and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to start doing now. I'm going to crack on with this bit. Right, so I'm just about to take out the starter solenoid. So there's one, well, there's a whole bunch of cables connected to it. So you could take a picture of it. That's one way of getting around it, and also marking it up as well. So that's what I'm going to do here, to know that you've got everything back in the right place. Failing that, you've got to go through the procedure of going through the manual and trying to sort out everything. So I'm just going to twist all the cables together that go onto one terminal and then mark them up. Okay. There's the offending article. That was playing up, so rather than do anything with it, just replace it. The solenoid actually is in and out there, so it's a riveted part. It's not really designed to be stripped down, so just get a new one. And here is the replacement, so everything should look pretty much the same. Brackets on that side, so that goes that way, yep, as you can see there. So it's literally a direct replacement, plug on, and away we go. That's what I'm going to do now. Right, that's it. Had to change a few lugs. Look at them, I've got them all here. Jimmy's doing the wheel arches.
I'm supervising.
Sharon's supervising, and I'm doing the technical work. Barney's actually at the front here as well, believe it or not. He gets everywhere, doesn't he?
Barney.
So let's just show you. Oh, the other togs. Yeah. Hold on. Oh. Here's the other dogs. You probably don't see a lot of these. Look. That's Duke, by the way. Look. He's the old boy, the old Labrador. He's 14 now, Sharon, isn't he? Yeah. Barney's there, as you know. And this is one you don't see. Hello, Duchess. She's a bit timid. Look, that's Duchess. And there's the other dog I got. Now, that's my wife, Sharon, as you know. Lovely, beautiful Sharon. Right, yeah, she is. So, I've just done that. Come out the way, Duke. The trouble is with Duke, he can't hear us. So, anyway, there's that new solenoid I've just put in there now. I could do with another rubber gate on there, really, but again, you've got to make do with what you've got. I've had to put a new couple of lugs on there, as you can see. The blue one and the red one. Devil's own job getting a screwdriver in to fix that underneath there, but as I say, that should stop the hassle we had with the starting problem initially, what we had with it. Say that again?
Come on.
Come on, what?
I'll start banging.
You want to start banging?
Yeah.
Right, how are you going on? You've got these just below the surface now, right?
So that wing out as well.
Oh, I see. Oh, yes, okay, yes. Well, you know how to do that, do you?
Yeah.
Right, well, that actually, if we look at that wing there, this is one of the problems we had with the wheel arches. That whoever had done this before, as you know, they've cut the wheel arch down, but this was folded right over. So just dress that up then, Jimmy, go on in.
Meant to be.
Come flatten that off here, go on. That's better. So basically, whoever had this car before had butchered this and folded that right under. We didn't really notice it until we tried to fit the wheel arches, but obviously now we got this off, and now we're going to this much trouble. We're going to put it right. So we can't have a lip on that, obviously, because look, all the lips totally gone off of that wheel arch. But the new arches will cover all this. So Jimmy's just making a little indentation there. He's putting a fiberglass filler behind.
Done.
Well, we're going to have a look at the other side then, shall we? So it's just a fiberglass filler on the back, which is now actually gone off rock hard, and then we'll go over the top here with a normal filler. But that's just to provide some strength at the back so that the filler doesn't obviously go through. And then once we've actually finished the wheel arches, then obviously preparation will be done for finishing off again. So yeah, that's that. Right, so I've done my first job, as you can see, which is that. I'm just going to do the temperature probe now, get that one out of the way because that's actually broken. Right, okay, there we go. That's the old fuel pump out. As you can see, that's what's broken off, that spout's broken off there. That actually hooks into the engine. And there's only two fixings, as you can see, holding it on. And it's just a simple device, just very awkward to get to. Let's get the other one out. Again, good thing with Minis, parts are readily available. And they're cheap as well. So what have we got here? Okay. Slightly different layout on this, by the looks of it. Gasket in there as well. Looking at that, let's compare it to the old one. There's a gasket there we've been given. So that's come out that way. As you can see, it is obviously a pattern part. It's got an arrow on the top there directing the fuel, so that the terminations are actually exactly in the same orientation on that. The arm also is the same distance, so that's a different manufacturer. The arm is in the actual same position, so I should be okay to bolt this straight on. Now there was an adapter plate on the old one, which is here. So what I should do really is just to clean this up and put this back on, which I'm going to do now. Whew! What an awkward job that was. If you've got to change the fuel pump on a Mini, think about getting someone else to do it. Right, there it is, in place. Now, I was going to drop the exhaust manifold, but the problem I come against was, let's move them cables out of the way. I was going to pull it about and drop it down, but I think this has got a modified exhaust on it. And as you can see, these bolts here, or to clear these, this has got to slide off, the manifold's got to slide off the bolts, but there's no clearance there, as you can see, so I've had to leave it in place and literally get your hands down the back and underneath to the two sockets there, which are, there's only two of them, but they're just awkward to get to. And when your actual fuel pump comes off, there's a bit of spring tension behind it, because there's an arm on there obviously that goes into the engine that operates off of a cam, and trying to hold that in place while you're doing up the screw underneath there, or the two screws underneath there, is not on impossible, especially when you've got to get your hands down in here and there's clips on there digging into your arms. Look, you can see my forearms there, look. So I could have taken that hose off there, but I had to take that little short stubby fuel pipe off, which obviously goes onto there. We're going to need a new one on there because that's very brittle, and the other one there, as you know, just goes up to the carburettor. So that's another job done now. So we're slowly getting these little jobs done. As you can see, look, that original fuel pipe is absolutely rock solid there, so that's going to need to be changed. Right, what are you up to, Jimmy?
I'm mixing a filler to put over the old.
Right, so basically you've knocked them holes below the surface now. You've filled behind them with a fiberglass filler, is that right?
Yeah.
And now you're just going over the top with a body filler so that we can just sand that down and contour that to the original shape once it's actually done. As you say, this has come out now. We will put some filler over that as well, and obviously we'll have to spray this front panel in again. We'll end up spraying the whole bloody car, I would have thought, but never mind. At least Jimmy's going to be spraying this now. He's got a lot more knowledge on doing bodywork now, as you can probably see. He knows the materials to use. In fact, he's telling me, because I haven't done car body repair for years and years, and the brand names have all changed since I was last doing it, so he's just doing what he sees at work, I suppose. Right, well anyway, these are the new wheel arches. We started to put the interior in now, as you can see. We've got the back seats in the Mini. We've started to fit the carpet, as you can probably see there. The dashboard we're still in the process of doing, so I'm just waiting for my, I've just not had the time to do my hydro dipping on the last panel, the clock panel we've got to put in, but yeah, it's coming on. New seat brackets gone on the front there, so can accept the standard seats which we've got, and it's starting to take shape now. So half of the battle has been having the time, so I'm going to carry on. I've got a few little other jobs to do now. As you see, the main jobs I've got done today, which is the solenoid there, the starter solenoid. Oh, I've got to fix that broken cable, which I'll do now. I've fitted the windscreen washer pump there. We've also fitted the new thermostat sensor there, and the fuel pump's been fitted there, but we're going to need some new hose for that as well. So what I'm going to need to do next is to strip down. We've got two carbs for the car. Obviously they're going to have a load of fuel, a stale fuel inside them, and possible need a good clean out. So I'm going to strip them down. I won't do that in this video, but I'm going to put them in the ultrasonic cleaner and start to strip that down. And then I've got to fit a new carpet in the bedroom upstairs. Sharon's done one of the rooms, decorated the rooms out, so I'm going to be doing that. So hopefully tomorrow, if the weather's fine, I'll be in the garden again. So we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.